So you just see me clear it, and now I'm on my way back. This is going to be a full courtyard garden makeover. The customer wants 2 seating areas from this small space. You've got a table and chairs on one side, and then a bespoke table and benches that I'm going to make for the other side. And it wants to be as little maintenance as possible. It's a very important point here, as the customer does not want to do any gardening. And it wants to be done on a tight budget as always. And there's a couple of other key design considerations as well to come in here, but we'll get onto them later. Right, so I'm here now. First thing first, I've got to dig out these stumps. Like that. There, and there. Hold on. Can you spot the froggy? To get him out, as we will mush him. There he is. You need to pick him up, he's running for it. That way. That's it. That's it. Mr. Froggy. Right, back to shoving this puppy out. Right, now that's done, we've got to tackle this area. Okay, so this planter here is going to end up being the same line all the way through there. So all of this is going to go, and we're going to replace it with paving, same as here. So first, we've got to dig that out and take out these bricks up to there. Take out all of these, dig out all of that. You're going to get me chisel. Right, so it's actually the next day now because the camera died, that you can't tell because I'm wearing the same clothes, but we've made a bit of progress. Here we got the wall. What we did here, we dug out this area, put in the hardcore, some scalps, got the slabs on, got them cut and carrying on the pattern, and we rebuilt this brick wall here so it ties in the nice same width as the one to the left of it. So we're going to pressure wash all of this and have it looking brand spanking new. So we're going to have climbers growing all the way along here, and all the way along here. So I need to put in some apparatus for them to climb up. So I'm going to drill in, smack in some of these eye bolts that look like this, and then put some wire connecting those all the way around, and then along here. So we're going to have all these lovely climbers growing up the walls. So you have this wonderful green feeling of the space, but it won't encroach much. So as you can see, we're working with limited space here. So this is where the major design consideration comes in. So the client wanted as much usable space as possible. So we've shortened one of the beds to get more space, but that also informs the planting. So aside from a couple of herbs, basically we're just gonna have climbers, they're gonna be the only plants here, and they're all gonna be trained right back tight against the walls. Basically, you can only get 3D plants if you go to the shop, you can't get 2D ones, but we'd have bought 2D ones if we could. So we've got the eye bolts in, but we've got to actually get back to mine now because we've got some furniture to make, and there's not actually that much left to do really in the garden now. So yeah, onto the handmade table and benches. So I've got to make something like this. For the garden. This is one of the benches. Flipped it over so I can get the back. So I'm going to screw and glue this one on here, and it's going to be bolted as well. With this on there.
مرحبا سلامة رفيقة سلام مرحبا سلامة رفيقة سلام عصاي 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 ما قدي دمادم أسكالان أسكالنا ما قدي سبيرالا ما بلا سلود عليما نسمع عزاء سلود عليما نسمع عزاء مرحبا سلامة رفيقة سلام مرحبا سلامة رفيقة سلام عصاي عصاي ما قدم مساوى زبر كل مايه ما قدم مساوى زبر كل مايه زنق ورويرارو كركبا سمايه زنق ورويرارو كركبا سمايه مرحبا.
Right, now we've just got to do the same with the table. Exactly the same principle. Poles, 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 poles. And we've got round ones instead of the thinner ones that we had on the benches. Today's the day we're going to go down there, finish up, got to plant some plants, put a bit of wire in, and then we're basically done. We've got the furniture in the back, got traffic in front of us. Happy days. Got this little beauty. This one unscrew.
All of my friends say you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me started I just can't stop. No, no, 'cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby.
Right, so we're nearly done. We just got to bring the furniture in and get the plants planted and paint this little bit up here, which we just noticed. We got to pop out and get some paint. Right, so we got this motley gang of plants. In there we've got some climbers and a few herbs. Before I plant anything, I like to place everything where it's going to go so we can work out exactly right before we start digging anything.
I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby.
Don't get the shovel out.
I love you, I love you. No, no, no.
Now this little clematis, I don't know if you can read that, Winter Beauty, tiny little one. It's going in, probably actually about there actually, behind this lavender here, it's going there. But I couldn't for the life of me get a bigger one of them, so we're going to have to, little baby version. For now, anyway, then soon it will grow and fill up that whole wall.
Yeah, there was a time I didn't have romance, but after I met you I felt it was.
Now this area is a little bit different. We have one climber there, and there's another tiny one there. Now you might think, is it worth putting in such a tiny plant then? And could you have actually just got a bigger one that was a different species? Maybe, but the thing I wanted to do here was try and get as much interest throughout the year, because we haven't got many plants here. So we're going to try with the climbers to have something flowering all throughout the year, even though we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 climbers. All in this bare earth here, we put some shade tolerant wildflower seed in there. So we're going to have a lovely, wild little border. All in there with the climbers, again, coming up the wall. Can't see the apparatus, but there is some for it, look.
us from partying, leaving this romance behind. But now you're gone, and all I have is time.
So I think it looks really good at the end of the day. I mean, it's a little bit bare, but considering the brief, what the client wanted, I think it's not bad. I mean, those will fill out a lot as well, those climbers, and a little bit of handmade furniture. I think it's not bad.